Watch out, people. Here I come.
We're at 30 seconds.
Donnie here. Thanks for joining us. How many people are you? All by your Lone Star? No problem. First off, let's get your name.
Seriously?
Have a stick of gum. It's 25 cents.
Excellent.
Okay, folks, we're getting close. 10 seconds.
Best of luck.
Let's do a maroon check.
6, 5,
Go to black.
4, 3.
You need Cellulube.
Hey there, I'm Cookie Masterson, and don't worry, this isn't my first love scene. Just you? Great. Looks like I'll have to do all the heavy lifting. And today's wrong answer of the game is being brought to you by
Brown Anna Banana Toasters. For a perfectly toasted banana the first time and every time. Say, nice banana.
Pick the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to win a fabulous prize and big cash. So let's make this happen. To get started, will you calamari me? If Nadia Suleiman, better known as the Octomom, actually behaved like a female octopus, what would happen after she gave birth? She'd die, her spine would dissolve, she'd eat her children, or she'd eat the genitals of the father of her children. Female octopuses, octopi? Whatever. Die shortly after their eggs hatch, so the Octomom would unfortunately kick the bucket. Then they bury her in one casket and her uterus in another. Up next, I Heart Atom. If Albert Einstein had written a romantic comedy about the atomic relationship between neutrons and electrons, which Jennifer Aniston flick would have provided the most appropriate title? The Breakup, The Object of My Affection, He's Just Not That Into You, or Leprechaun? Time's almost up. And I thought Marley and Me was sad. Allow me. Because neutrons have no electrical charge, the negatively charged electrons are not and never will be attracted to them. But I did see a picture in Us Weekly of an electron getting frozen yogurt with a proton in Palm Springs. Woo! May I introduce Bedbugs Bye Bye Bye, and it's a toxic dis or dat. I'm gonna read you a list of 7 names. For each one, you need to tell me if it's a boy band or an insect repellent brand. If it's a boy band, press 1. If it's insect repellent, press the number 2. Each one right gets you $300. Each one wrong costs you $300. Oh, you already know how to play. Fine. Take that! Cutter! 98 degrees! Damage! Off! Ultra pure! Ozone! Great job! Or as all 4 new kids on the block would say, job? Where's the job? Can I have a job? I play the 98 Degrees Christmas CD to keep ants out of my kitchen. This one's called Facelift Book. Which website would not be a fancier version of Facebook? Physiognomy Book, Natees Book, Countenance Book, or Visage Book? Natees Book would be a fancy name for Ass Book. And trust me, you don't want your friend to poke you on Ass Book.
Where's the vibe, girl? Rock my world, girl. Ooh, yeah.
Coming up, Gore. Suppose Al Gore gets Gore during the running of the bulls in Spain. If he demands a recount of all the bulls and steers in the run, what will the recount find? 12 suspicious bulls and steers, 20 dubious bulls and steers, 36 fishy bulls and steers, or 51 questionable bulls and steers? I so wanted you to pick this one. Each day of the running of the Bulls Festival, 6 bulls are released along with 6 steer, so 12 animals in total. The bull's horn didn't pierce Al Gore all the way through. It just left him with dangling chaps. That'll bring an end to our first round. And you're doing pretty well, probably because there's no competition. Keep in mind, in round 2, everything is worth twice as much. And keep in mind, the wrong answer of the game is still there for the taking. Well, no time like the present. Why not try I Love You, Meth Cooper? I've been watching that AMC show Breaking Bad about a high school chemistry teacher who uses his science powers for evil by manufacturing drugs. And speaking of chemistry, the title Breaking Bad contains several chemical symbols such as Br, K, N, and Ba. So now it's time for a chemistry pop quiz. Which of those symbols have I matched with the wrong name? Bromine, Br, potassium, K, nickel, N, or barium, Ba? N stands for nitrogen. Nickel is Ni. Chemistry was never my strong suit in high school. And by that I mean I didn't have chemistry with anyone of the opposite sex, or the same sex, really. Up next, this heavy metal band is confusing. What might a typical headbanger yell at a Satan-worshipping death metal concert? Neptune's moon rocks! Helicopters kick ass! Meat substitutes rule! Whales wail! Watch your time! You are spinning out of control. Want to see the answer? Seitan is a common vegetarian meat substitute made from cooked wheat gluten. Yeah, that should be a pretty awesome concert.
Plucking chickens, picking out a mate. Guess I'll marry 8.
Open wide for Referio. I don't know if you've ever been to Rio de Janeiro, but they have that giant stone statue looming over the city called Christ the Redeemer. It's real famous. If Rio's Christ the Redeemer statue were refereeing a game played by other giant statues, what call would he be making? Touchdown, safe, traveling, or pass interference? The correct answer is, the Christ the Redeemer statue's arms are stuck straight out to the sides, sort of like an umpire calling a baseball player safe. Still, Christ would make a pretty annoying ump, constantly saying things like, you know, the only way to be truly safe is to accept me as your personal savior.
Strolling through the park with the sarsaparilla. For me, it's not right.
Take a good look at. Stop rhyming now, I mean it. Eating which of these snacks would make Mr. Peanut a cannibal? Corn nuts, Cracker Jacks, grape nuts, or munchies? Nuts. This would have worked. Cracker Jacks is the only snack listed that contains nuts. What does Mr. Peanut eat anyway? I'm guessing it's a lot of fish. Don't know why. Just seems like he'd eat a lot of fish. Maybe it's the monocle.
Hold me, never let me go. And my dream
And now, Big Dickens. Which Charles Dickens novel ends most like the way The Sopranos ended? Great Expectations, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, A Christmas Carol, or Little Dorrit? Dickens died before finishing The Mystery of Edwin Drood, so it pretty much stops without getting to an ending, just as, love it or hate it, the last episode of The Sopranos dramatically cuts to black. I hate it when things don't have proper endings. Reminds me of a joke. A mobster, a writer, and a turn of the...